Welcome back.
We have a question for Edith actually, quickly.
Yes.
She plans to go to China, I hear.
Given the opportunity, I will hope to study in Shanghai. If there's
Is it Shanghai?
复旦还是复旦？
复旦大学。
都交通也不错啦。
But that all depends.
What do you want to study there?
Yeah.
More Chinese?
Actually, I want to study 电视和广播, not exactly 中文系.
Oh, okay.
It's more of communications because I don't know. I'm interested in the media, which is also part of the reason why I'm working as an intern now with SPH. So I read up some of their courses. So they actually have 电视和广播, which covers a lot on broadcasting, drama serial, which is kind of the first thing that attracted me to Chinese. So. Yeah.
And you're not daunted by the prospects of having all your materials in Chinese?
Okay.
Yeah, all the textbooks, everything.
Okay, it's challenging, but I believe if there's the passion for a certain subject, you'll be willing to put in the extra effort. So I think passion for a subject is very much more important than, let's say, okay, this is so-called successful by the society.
But there are communication studies in Singapore in English, or in US, or so.
Actually, I don't really like English.
Okay.
Yeah, so I prefer
1 for
Mandarin.
Chinese, 0 for English.
Okay, so Edith is obviously someone who loves Mandarin and wants to push it further, but do Singaporeans actually think that knowing Mandarin is important? So actually I asked some people on the street and here's what they have to say.
Because many people speaking the Mandarin more than English, that's why we need to speak to them.
Do you speak Mandarin or English?
No, I speak Korean.
Oh, you're Korean. So do you learn Mandarin in school?
Yeah,
Okay, do you find it difficult then?
yeah, very difficult.
Which is more difficult, Mandarin or English?
Mandarin.
Why is that so?
The words are so difficult to write. That's right. And then reading also difficult and speaking also difficult.
China is coming up and it's important for us to know Mandarin so that, we can do business with the Chinese.
Well, if there is a lot of power for the Chinese, then what about the 70% I know in English? Well, it's a pro and con. It's a pro and con, but the English got more power.
In China, then they are having their economy is rising. Then if we know how to speak Chinese, then we can maybe have opportunities there.
Of course, it is with China coming up, a world country, and we need a lot of jobs over there. I think it helps Singapore. Eventually, 20 years later, down the road, perhaps English will be the main language. But I think at the moment, Mandarin is still very important.
What about the argument that, China is so big now, it's very important to know Mandarin? Do you buy it?
Not really, because they are learning English now. China is already the big thing now. So I think that it would be a very wise decision to study the language.
Okay, but what about opposers who say that, if China want to communicate with the rest of the world, they are learning English, and they are?
It's definitely more convenient because not all of the Chinese population, not like 13 billion of them, they're not going to all speak English. And also, it's some sort of respect for the country, isn't it, if you speak their language?
It helps to know Mandarin because it's our culture. But to be successful, no. But I guess it's good to know. Good to know if you want to do business in China, for example. Yeah.
So what about the opposers' argument where they say China, they are learning English, so why bother, right?
But people in Western countries are also learning Mandarin, so I guess it helps at both. Then so India coming up, so we should learn Tamil and Swahili and also, right?
Yeah, we should learn to speak Swahili. Yeah.
Actually, Swahili is African.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Wow.
So, do you all agree with what some of Singaporeans are saying?
About learning,
maybe. I think it is very important. It should be a necessity in our life because we are Chinese, and we should actually, make it our first language, I would say. Because we being
first
Chinese.
language.
Yeah, why not? If my daughter can do it, yes, why not? In fact, I would like her to go to SAP school, and then so that she can master the language. Identify herself. She's a Chinese. Why put the race Chinese and you don't speak Mandarin? So what are we now? I don't know. No, like Kenny. Well, she's also half Peranakan, right? I gave her the name Ye Niang, right?
月娘小娘惹。
Her name is actually Jian Niang, right? Yeah. So why? Because I want her to know that she's Chinese, and the Niang means that she's a Peranakan, and I want to have a breakthrough. Maybe this is the first, Peranakan who speaks Mandarin, right? Because most of Peranakan doesn't speak Mandarin.
Yeah, but I think Mandarin is really the language of the future, right? And I'm experiencing it at work, right? Because let's say, okay, I want to find out something about Chinese, the latest news about Chinese companies, right? On Bloomberg, for example, right? So you find that the latest news are all in Mandarin, right? And we probably got to wait half a day or 1 day later before you get it in English. So that's
you feel
advantage, right? You have a distinct advantage with Mandarin.
Oh, even with Bloomberg Financial News,
Yes.
Okay. Because I thought there was mainly English. Okay, and Mr. Shin then, for you,
Yeah, first of all, I'm not Chinese, but in my opinion, I had a business trip like a month ago in Shanghai. I'm quite frequently visit Shanghai, even after 15, maybe next month. I have a plan to visit Shanghai, and I can see a lot of opportunity there. And then if I have chance, of course, I wish my daughter learn the Chinese. But the only concern I have is that I don't know how can I help her to learn the correct Mandarin. When I visit the Julia Gabriel Center, the only thing I don't know. Because I cannot see anything, but they always speak Mandarin. One teacher speak only Mandarin. English teacher just speak English.
Yeah.
Then she play well with them. So for now, that's good enough for me. Unless she understood, then she follow the Chinese teacher. Sometimes she follow the English teacher. That's good enough. So
you talk about going to China quite a bit, right? Do you feel that you're not knowing the language is sort of
a disadvantage?
Is a disadvantage or holding you back in some sense?
There is pros and cons. I mean, if let's say I just know the count like 1, 2, 3, 4, they really like it. Even I said mayo empty, like busu or something like that.
不是, oh.
I don't know, 冰块冰水. I know a few words.
Excellent.
But they like it. Then from there we can have a more chance to communicate and try to understand. Because at least my attitude is I like to learn your language, right? So they like it. Of course, there is some, if let's say I can speak Mandarin, I believe there is much more chance. Because they also have a difficulty to understand English. Even English is not my mother tongue, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think my English is that, good enough. I mean, I can speak English, but that's not my language. If I can speak Mandarin, why not? Why I have to speak English, right? I can use Mandarin.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you feel like with Kenny as well, similar sentiments that being able to speak Mandarin is actually a competitive advantage over others. Yeah, but for Chris, it's more like the heritage. It's like, yes, the culture. I want my daughter to preserve that, right?
And for Edith, it's actually more about the interest.
About interest. Sometimes I do agree with her that since we are Chinese, we should know our mother tongue.
No, but
do you think it's advantages for your career in the future? I mean, are you preparing? That's why,
Okay.
复旦大学.
Did you know specifically, really, I'm going to go into the media and I'm specifically going to do
CCTV.
Chinese.
Oh no, come back to Razor TV.
As in, whatever I'm doing now is really out of interest and passion. Because I do believe when you do something that you like, you'll find more satisfaction and you will last longer, actually. So, I mean, many of them say, okay, maybe we learn Chinese because China is rising. But
it's not exactly the right reason, right?
I don't think it can push you that far if it's just solely for business. I mean, I do not deny the fact that if you learn Chinese, it's much easier. Because I think Chinese, like, okay, we share the same language, and 有什么事好商量, we can discuss everything. It's like a whole family kind of thing compared to like English, Chinese, business like. And sometimes I think Chinese 人情关系, if you speak the same language, it builds a deeper relationship. But I still feel that the main reason to study Chinese should be passion and your own heritage.
Wow, very good. That's true. Yeah, and I agree. When you use Chinese, sometimes it's a very different feeling.
Yes, there's this qing in
yeah,
it's very different. Yeah, in English it's just hello, hi, bye,
Yeah.
But in Mandarin, you have this little something that maybe it's a culture in us. Chinese being Chinese, you have like idioms that really describe the life.
Yes.
It's something very valuable that we shouldn't lose it. I think. Yeah.
But actually, at the same time, do you all think that now, because they are pushing more for conversational Mandarin in school, that's the impression I get, that it becomes a bit too diluted in the end. Do they even learn idioms anymore?
Yes.
Do they?
In fact, I sent her to another center who teaches her idiom, and I was very impressed, because during my time, I don't even do that. She could come back and tell me, 车水马龙. Oh, at the age of 3.
车水马龙. Very
she
good.
knows some of the idioms.
Excellent. Well, I guess 30 years of Speak Mandarin Campaign has trickled down, the effects, and of course there are people like Chris and Kenny who really want their kids to speak Mandarin. So we can take a look now.
Yeah, we got some help from some people, and we managed to find some really cool videos.
And we really want to thank our guests for coming today. Thank you for your time. Really enjoyed it.
Say bye-bye, girls.
Bye-bye, girls.
Say bye-bye to there. Bye-bye.
來啊！我喺咩片揾啊來？我杯嚟拜喎。蘋果係咪？佢話斜蘋果就好，蘋果一條嗎？蘋果斜喂。哎呀，你們到底要買什麼？蘋果咯。哦，是蘋果。講華語我不就聽得懂嗎？對對對，華語。大家說華語，我們家要進步，語言要溝通。就從今天起，大家說華語，不分男和女，不分老和少。
要用文字记载才得以流传。华人的通用语是华语，华语是丰富的。华语是实用语言，懂得华语能帮助你了解过去，认识现在，展望将来，对你有很大的好处。请先开口讲华语。
阿姐，鬼条面口讲华语，鬼条面3包。
好，果条面3包，要不要辣椒啊？
要，还要豆芽多一点。
好，辣椒多一点，豆芽也多一点。
先开口讲华语，皆大欢喜。
有经典还有点呢，我想要姐。哎，你的华语说得很好，你也讲得不错嘛。其实常讲就会习惯。有道理。面包这姐好，小姐，请多给我几个薯条吧。
谢谢。
你也开口讲了。
5位 mini combo 不？有，什么牌子都有。
哇，你会讲华语啊？
现在的人大多数都会讲华语。
其实讲华语比较方便。
讲华语，先讲。
县官老爷听了2人申辩之后，就命令手下把那张羊皮吊在大堂上，然后大声喝道：“你这羊皮！不好端端的长在羊身上，却跑来这里惹是生非。快说，这卖柴的跟卖盐的，到底哪一个才是你的主人？说！”说完了，他还故意侧着头，好像在等待羊皮回答似的。这羊皮怎么会说话呢？尽管
Why is he talking to the sheepskin?
He's trying to find out who the owner of the sheepskin is.
Oh, I see.
我说的对吗？
完全正确。
It's traditional. Many people know it. I'm glad we kept it alive. It reminds us of our past, our heritage. But to me, it's also modern. Here's why. 谢谢。菜式不错，谢。
Practice, that's all you need. The more you do it, the better you become. But it takes effort. Let me show you.
妈咪，这个字是左还是右？
啊 boy， 这是右。
I love Chinatown. The color, the people, the flavor, that old-time feeling. And this is my favorite place, where they keep my secret energy supply. 老板，
哎，
泡泡参300克，凤凰浆1罐。
好。你吃这2样养颜补品有3年了吧？
所以我才会精神饱满嘛。
难怪你总是容光焕发。
Speak the language, know the secrets.
So use it, don't lose it, because 华语 is cool. 讲华语，华语真酷，华语 hot。
华语酷，多讲华语。
讲华语，华语真酷。
20世纪会讲英语，你觉得很酷，但是21世纪呢，真正觉得酷的人呢，是因为他们会讲华语。